Hello, Astronomy Lab students. This is Sean Kelly, and this is a review of Earth 102 and the early summer constellations, and the ones that you'll be quizzed on very shortly. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a view of the sky. We're in May, a week after the current date, just so that I can give you a nice picture of the sky without the moon in it. And I'm zoomed out a little bit just to give me a little sense of the sky here. I want you to look up here and notice the Big Dipper. That's going to be a clue during the quiz. Make sure you can identify that. Okay, so we want to start off by finding the really bright stars in the sky. Those are the signposts, and I'll come back to those constellations afterwards. But the first things first, let's find all our bright stars in the sky. So if I start with the Big Dipper, Ursa Major as it's known, the Big Bear, and I follow the handle, it has a curve to it. Remember, we arc to this star right here. What is the name of this star or object? And you all know the name is Arcturus. That's Arcturus. You arc to Arcturus. At this time of the year, it's almost vertical. You're going to go straight down. And astronomy, amateur astronomers will use this all the time. They arc to Arcturus, and then they spike to this star right here. What is the name of this object? And I hope you all know it is Spica. Oops, not getting that. Spica. How about that? Can't get it. Spica. No. Spica. There we go. Spica. So you arc to Arcturus and you spike to Spica. Okay, very bright star. Let's see, now that I've got those two, let's go this way. Can you see 1, 2 stars? There's a backwards question mark. That's how I know that it's there. What is the name of this star or object? And this would be, right here, this would be Regulus. Okay, and the tail star of this constellation right here is called Denebola. Very good, okay. Let's slide on over this way. Not too many things to look at. There's only a handful of stars that we have to worry about. And let's see, I did these two, arc to Arcturus, spike to Spica. This is a letter J shape, and I see this star right here in the neck. All right, anybody remember the name of this star or object? And that is Antares, which means the rival of Mars. It is also known as the heart of the scorpion, of course. Okay. And now we just have 3 more, I think. That's about it. Oh, nope, I skipped a couple. Oops, let me not skip these. They're kind of important. So the heart of the scorpion, if you extend out, you'll find the two brightest stars in the area right here. And so what is the name of the upper star right here, this upper star? What is the name of that upper star? And the name is quite a mouthful. It means in Arabic, the northern claw. That one is Zubin Esh-Amali. Oops, let's see if we can try that. We'll zoom in here. Zubin Esh-Amali. Zubin Esh-Amali, the northern claw. And what is the name of this object or star, which is a star really, a little bit below that? And that one is the southern claw called Zubin El-Ganubi. And so those stars, I almost forgot. Okay, let me not forget them. And now over here, we have our final 3 objects. And these are stars that you're supposed to know. And you can see they make a nice big triangle in the sky. Does everybody remember the name of that? Of course, that is the summer triangle. So let's start up high. The highest one up here rose first in the sky. I know that because it's highest in the sky. So this one came first, then this one, and then this one. So what is the highest one right here? What is the name of that star? So y'all want to know the name? It is Vega. Vega. All right, our second star down here came up second. See that one a little bit later. What is the name of this star right here? And you want to know the name? It's a tail as well. So the name is Deneb. Deneb. Okay. And our third star right here, comes up last in the sky, is known as Altair. That's Altair. And those are all of the bright stars in the sky. So that will help you get your bearings, right? If you can find the brightest stars, then you have a good place to start. Well, let's go ahead and continue now and do the constellations that you need. So this is a little bit zoomed out. I'm going to go ahead and squish over here and do half of the sky this side, and then I'll squish over to the other side. So let's see now. I was just talking about this backwards question mark. So I picked this star right here. I say this star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And I know you're going to say Leo. That's Leo. And what is the common name for Leo? That would be the lion. So Leo is this region right here, the backwards question mark, Regulus to Nebula. Let's go ahead and arc to Arcturus, right? Remember that? And right above Arcturus, we see a shape you probably recognize. So I pointed the star right here. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And you remember the name is Boötes, Boötes. The common name is the herdsman. And the nickname is the shape right here. It is known as the ice cream cone. Great, great. That's the ice cream cone. Okay, arc to Arcturus, spike to Spica. Remember that's Spica. And this right above Spica is a big constellation. So I just pointed the star. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And it would be the same one that Spica is a member of. And that would be Virgo. And the common name of Virgo is the maiden. So everything right here above Spica, we're talking about the maiden. Spica is in the maiden. It is the brightest star in the maiden. So right up here, it's going to be our maiden. Now I'm going to drop down and over just a little bit from Spica. That's a very bright star, easy to identify. And I see these 4 bright stars, maybe 5 if you want to count that one. Maybe this is a double star, but anyways, I see these four bright stars usually in the night sky. And I point to this one. This one is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And you want to remember that that one is Corvus. And the common name of Corvus is the crow. That's Corvus the crow. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to just to keep it easy, I'm going to go a little bit over, and this one's very faint, but it's got some stars right here. Very faint, but it's right there. See where it is? So there is Spica. Corvus is the 4 bright stars, and then we have some dimmer stars next door. So this star right here is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And that one is Crater. And if you remember what Crater is a cup. So it's Crater the cup. All right, let's see, moving right along. Let's go ahead and talk about this letter J here. The letter J, so obvious, easy to see, really easy to see. Let's go to the end of the letter J right here. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And you might remember, because these are the claws of the scorpion, this constellation is known as Scorpius. What is Scorpius? Of course, it is a scorpion. So the letter J is Scorpius the scorpion. Remember, the heart of the scorpion is the rival of Mars called Antares. Antares. All right, let's see. Right next door, pretty nice little shape. Actually, by the way, do you see the Milky Way? On a nice dark night, you can see it so clearly. But right next to the letter J, we have a little handle, we have a spout, we have the top of it. So this star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And you want to know that that is Sagittarius. What is Sagittarius? Sagittarius is the archer. And the last one, what is the nickname? And this one has a nickname. It is the teapot. Okay, we're going to be using this in just a few minutes to find a couple of difficult constellations. But I'm going to go ahead and skip over that part for a second and come over to my really bright, easy to see summer triangle. So remember, we had Vega, we had Deneb, and we had Altair. Well, let's talk about the constellations that go with each one. So focus on Vega right here. There's a little quadrilateral shape right here, little parallelogram shape. And this star is a member of that constellation. So Vega is the brightest star in there. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And the proper name is Lyra, the harp. Okay, that's the harp. And then coming down here, remember this is Deneb, the tail of the swan. The tail of the swan. I'll pick this star right here. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? You want to remember that that would be, has these big long wings right here. It's a kind of bird. It is Cygnus. Cygnus is the swan. This one also has a nickname, and it's the shape that I'm sketching out right here. It is known as the Northern Cross. All right. And our third constellation is actually a whole bunch of stars right here, but we focus on this one because it's easy to see. Remember Altair, the easy star, easy to see. On your review sheet, you'll just see a couple of bright stars on either side of it. So let's pick that one right there. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And that's got a neat name. It's Aquila, Aquila, the eagle. The eagle is the common name. And then don't forget, right next to the summer triangle, we have a really cute constellation right here. It's so cute. And once you learn to see it, you'll be very happy because it's got a little tail right here and the head right here. And it leaps out of the water in Santa Barbara. That's a hint. Okay, this star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And the name we give that is Delphinus. Delphinus, the dolphin, is the common name, dolphin. All right, so let's talk about some of the more difficult ones. Now, I'm going to actually zoom all the way back to Arcturus right here. And remember, this was Boötes, the herdsman, the ice cream cone. And I want to look right next to Boötes and find this semicircular arc of stars. So easy to find once you found Boötes. It's right next door. And I'll point to this star and I'll say, this star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And this is known as Corona Borealis. Remember, Borealis means northern. So this is the Northern Crown. Common name is Northern Crown. Okay, and now let's use the teapot to find two difficult constellations. So these are a little bit difficult. And so you want to use the teapot to help get yourself oriented. So I'm going to find the bottom of the teapot. That's these two stars right here. And the top of the teapot, that's the star right here. I'm going to go to the middle of the base right here and go straight up. And I'm going to find two bright stars that are in line with each other almost perfectly. And then a third star that makes a right angle. And this is a clue that I'm in the right place. So these three stars are what we indicate on your review sheet. So this star right here is definitely part of it. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And the answer is Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus. Remember the 13th zodiac sign. Ophiuchus has a job to do. He is holding a giant serpent. And so the common name of Ophiuchus is the serpent bearer. Okay. And so lastly, we want to get the serpent that goes with it. Actually, I have two more constellations to do. So here we have a branch of stars. I can find the head here and this long branch of stars and something like that. I'm going to probably point mainly to this side because it's much easier for me to find. But this is what Ophiuchus is holding. So here was Ophiuchus, right? The body of Ophiuchus. It's really a large constellation, by the way. And this part is kind of a confusing part that belongs to both Ophiuchus and the constellation that Ophiuchus is holding. So let's focus on the head and this part of the body. And this star right here would be one of them. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And since Ophiuchus is holding it, we call it Serpens. And Serpens is the serpent. Okay, so that would be the serpent. Okay, our final constellation. Oops, I left. There's two more. Sorry, there's two more. Let's remember right here from the letter J, you stretch out and there's a northern claw called Zubin el-Shamali and the southern claw, Zubin el-Ganubi. And there's two faint stars right next door to it. It makes a little shape like this. Not quite a square, but like a square. And so I point to this star because it's one of the dim stars. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And the proper name is Libra. Libra, the common name of Libra is scales, the scales of truth and justice. Okay, now I will finally do our last one. This one is very tricky at first, but I promise that if you learn this trick that I'm showing you, you will be able to find it every time. So you're going to start with the tail of the swan, Deneb, and you're going to trace towards Vega, which is in Lyra the harp. You're going to follow that line, and then you're going to keep going, and it's going to go right through something right here. And then I'm going to hit Corona Borealis, which we already mentioned, right? So I want to back up. This is the shape right here. There's three really bright stars, and this is not so bright. And if you zoom in, you can see it's a little bit wider on this side, a little narrower on this side. And the nickname of this is called the keystone. Okay, maybe you remember that. All right, now I'll point to the star right here. This star is a member of a constellation. What is the proper name? And that would be Hercules. And Hercules is known as the strong man. So just to finish up, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lines for you so you can see them. I'm going to scroll over here. You can see Leo. Turn on the artwork. And we'll turn on the artwork and the names. Okay, so there's Leo the lion. There's Corvus the crow, Crater the cup, Virgo the maiden, Boötes the herdsman, nickname is the ice cream cone, Corona Borealis, the northern crown. There was Hercules, the strong man, nickname is the keystone. Here is Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, and here is Serpens, the serpent, Libra, the scales, Scorpius, the scorpion, Sagittarius, the archer, nickname the teapot. And then up here we had Lyra, the harp, with the Vega here. Deneb is the tail of Cygnus, the swan, also called the northern cross. And here is Altair, which is in Aquila, the eagle. And don't forget little Delphinus, the dolphin. And those are your early summer constellations. So all you have to do is stay up late or wait until summertime and you will see them. Thank you so much for